When I made the video, I really disliked Jake Paul. Now, I don't dislike him. I understand him. I want to make something clear. I would still kick the living fuck out of Jake.
Like a bulldozer through a sand castle, Andrew Tate simply tore into Jake Paul. And to be honest, it was. Amazingly, he called Jake out for being, without a doubt, a complete jerk.
Because he's allowed himself to become the biggest clown on the internet, and now he's famous, right? Because he's an idiot. But he has a bunch of money, so he gets to...
Tate accused Jake of disrespecting boxing, a sport beloved by billions, and dragging its reputation through the mud. But Jake didn't stop at tarnishing boxing. He had to go and mess with a living legend too, by pulling Mike Tyson into his circus act of a fight. Jake didn't just ruin the event, he disrespected Tyson's legacy.
I'm not some washed up UFC fighter. I'm not smaller than him. I would beat the living shit out of him. And if he wants to fight, I'll fight him any day of the week, and I'll fucking wreck him, and he knows that.
And for what?
And Andrew won't have any of it after a few more clicks on his Instagram. He outright blamed Jake for the whole situation, calling it a slap in the face to Tyson's legendary career and an embarrassment to combat sports. The worst part is that Jake doesn't even have the decency to feel ashamed about it. It's shamelessness at its height, and Andrew isn't keeping quiet.
However, I do understand what he's doing. I understand that he is very, very smart, even with his marketing angle. I'm just a YouTuber. You're not just a YouTuber. You're a full-grown man with the best coaches in the world who's dedicated his life to learning how to box for years. You know how to box. You're not a complete amateur. You know how to box very well. 3, 4, 5 years of training combat sports. You can box. The guy's not a jackass.
Tate just destroyed Jake Paul on live television. And to be honest, it was long overdue. Jake Paul is the self-described boxing savior, but his fighting record is as dubious as his hairstyles. This guy moves about as like he's reinvented the sport, despite having 6 victories, 1 loss, and a fan base that cheers more for his TikToks than his punches. Andrew Tate, 76, is a professional kickboxer who has won 23 knockouts and has no patience for Jake's boxing circle on YouTube. Jake wouldn't even get beyond the tryout stages if this were a legitimate sport rather than his tiny social media playground.
I made a video that called out Jake Paul.
$3 million. You put 3, I put 3. Winner takes